Let me welcome. We're supposed to talk debt ceiling, but I want his opinion on a bunch of stuff since he's here with us, Lamont. Let me welcome. He is a justice correspondent for the Nation. The one and only. He's an attorney. Yeah, come on, let me welcome you in, Mr. Elie Mystal. Hello.
The only debt ceiling I respect is on American Express. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Bars. Listen, I've been wanting to ask you how it's not Don King, because Don King is straight up, like he's got the straight vertical. Yeah. But your afro is like perfect and it's bigger than I've ever seen it. Because I know you got a haircut several months ago. So something you got like Miracle Grow, you getting the biotin treatments. Like, what's happening here?
Yeah, like so much else with Don King. Don King's fro is a con, right? It's just it has the illusion of a fro, but it's not a real fro. No, this is all natural. This is all me. I got a haircut a couple of months ago, and then my agent said, "Stop it," because I have a book coming out in January, and she wants my hair on fleek for the book release.
So we're not doing on fleek anymore.
Yeah, we're not. That's not.
Don't do that again. That was like 2019.
I have two kids, man. I don't even know. I don't know what they're saying.
Lizzie said it was way older than that. Lizzie said it was 2015. 2015. Yeah. Come on, Elie. We try to help you out. Me. Okay.
So that's what. So I haven't got. I'm not allowed to get it cut according to the book agent for a bit. So that's fine. Look, my dad used to do my late father. Old pictures of him in the 70s. He had a big fro. And so it's an homage. I kind of started growing it out after he died.
Yeah, but it's like white, like when did you go all white? It's not just the fro, it's the brilliant silver,
It's like a halo.
It's just beautiful. Like, it's beautiful. So do you have a special pick?
It's law. So it's law school that made it white. But yeah, I got my obviously I've got this, which I sometimes will go like
there we
that.
go. That's it.
Yeah.
That's
it. Yeah.
They should pay me for this, but I just got my new shipment of Shea Moisturizer.
Oh, Shea Moisture. That's what I need to know. All right, hold that up again. Which what is that?
You giving up the plug.
You got the Strengthen and Restore shampoo, the Jamaican castor oil. Okay, I love that. Okay, so
that's how I.
Is this a daily routine? And then do you put anything else? Do you put anything else in it to keep it moist?
So I sometimes do the VO5 when I'm, but really since the pandemic, I haven't bothered. Right, so if I was going out, I'll put a little VO5 in it to make sure it has a nice shine,
volume, sheen.
Yeah, nobody can tell on camera, so I don't really do it since the pandemic. But yeah, other than that, it's just natural juices and berries. No, I'm just
okay. That's that damn Eddie Murphy. All right, so when's the book coming out, and what's the title?
So the book's coming out January 11th. It's available for pre-order now on Amazon and Barnes and Noble. It's called "Allow Me to Retort: A Black Guy's Guide to the Constitution." And what it really is, it's not like I've said this. I've had to, because I talk to a lot of white people. I've had to say this a couple times. It's not only for Black people, right? Like, white people can read the book too. What it is it's a look at the Constitution from the perspective of a Black person, from the perspective of a person that document said that I was 3/5 of a person. So I have a different kind of view on what that document looks like and how important that document is, and whether we should or should not follow to the exact letter of the text what the monstrous slavers and colonists bothered to write down in that document. I have my own kind of perspective informed by my experience, and that's why it's a Black Guy's Guide to the Constitution, not the Constitution for Black people. So
the debt ceiling, which is what I invited you on to talk about, the budget resolution that may or may not happen tomorrow. What's going to happen, and if it doesn't happen, what's going to happen?
I mean, look, you have to pass the debt ceiling, because if you don't pass the debt ceiling, we basically go back to the Stone Age. Like, you can't. The United States government, one of the 2 or 3 stable currencies in the world, cannot default on its debts. It just cannot do that.
Have we ever done that? Haven't we done this before? We've never done this.
No,
just raise it.
States have done this, but New York has gone bankrupt. Mississippi has gone. The United States government has never gone bankrupt. Are you kidding me? That it couldn't happen.
So this is what we're looking at tomorrow. could happen if they don't raise the ceiling?
Which is why they'll raise the ceiling. They have to, right? The issue that I have is, why do we have a ceiling at all? Like there's no act, because it's a thing that we cannot survive not doing, right? We have to do this, or else it wouldn't just cause a United States recession. It would literally cause a global recession in weeks if we didn't raise the ceiling. Since this is a must-pass piece of legislation every time it comes up, why is this even a thing that we have to, why do we have debt ceiling at all? Because all it serves to do right now is give Mitch McConnell and the Republicans a hostage to hold over the entire Democratic self-government on every 2 or 3 years whenever we bump up against it. What we should do is eliminate the debt ceiling entirely. It is an arcane, archaic way of running a damn country.
And then, so what's the alternative?
Just to have no debt ceiling.
Run that money up and just run the money up. Run the money up.
That's what we do anyway. That's what we do anyway. There's no actual reason to, like, look, if the debt ceiling was a thing that arrested spending and arrested tax cuts, because remember, the thing that makes that makes us not run out of money is not just government spending, it's government refusing to tax the people for the spending that they want. So we would not be in this situation right now if Trump hadn't passed those tax cuts. So if we're going to allow the government to keep spending money, if we're going to allow the government to keep cutting taxes, if the debt ceiling is going to be raised every time we get to its limit anyway, because it has to be, then why have the debt ceiling at all? What function is it serving?
Can you erase debt? Can you just be like, from a budget standpoint, because they say it's approaching 3 trillion or whatever. It's always approaching some. Can you just be like, we don't owe nothing?
No, that's not policy. That's ganking. That's just criminal, right? No, you can't just erase the debt. You have to have it still as a thing, but the debt ceiling suggests that we have a limit to how much debt we can carry, and that's there's no reason for that. It's like, so I made the joke when I first got on, like, the only debt ceiling I respect is American Express. I have an X $1,000 limit on my American Express card, right? So I have to pay a minimum monthly fee to. If I had a $6,000 limit on my American Express card, I would still have to pay the same monthly fee, right? So like, what's the difference between me having a $5,000 limit and a $6,000 limit, except that American Express doesn't trust my black ass? Like, that's all it is.
Right. So we shouldn't trust America.
So unless we're going to say that we don't that the World Bank just doesn't trust America, which it still does, then there's no actual. The only way to make it not trust us is to not raise the debt ceiling, right? The only way that we would lose the trust of the World Bank and the IMF and all these other financial institutions is if suddenly America was unable legislatively to pay its debts, which is why we have to raise the debt ceiling.
But you say that, Elie, as if we haven't seen things we have never seen before. That's what I was just what I'm saying? With this Congress, with this Senate, with Mitch McConnell, with these people.
It is entirely possible.
I'm not as confident as you are.
It's entirely possible that the Republicans. It's entirely possible that the Republicans make the decision that in a global apocalyptic recession, their side would win. That people would blame Biden and not the Republicans, and they would politically benefit from an apocalyptic recession. And since Republicans only care about hanging on to power, they might be willing to do that. It is also possible that certain Democrats also think that in a global apocalyptic recession, their side will win. That if things get bad enough, that people will finally realize the virtue of progressive programs, the progressive safety net, and whatever, and that they will win power in a global apocalyptic recession. And so that game of chicken, I think they will have to raise it. But you're right, Karen, that it's possible that they won't, because we are in uncharted territory in terms of one of the things that I come back to this a lot in the book as well, actually. Republicans are not interested in government. They are interested in power.
Mm.
And anything that Republicans perceive gives them power is something they think is worth doing in a completely ends justifies the means scenario. They don't care how they get power anymore. They just want the power, right? Now, how do you stop them from doing that, right? Well, the Biden's, Chris Coons, Joe Manchin, they seem to think that the way to stop them is to like, well, keep doing the thing that's important for the government, because then people, and that doesn't work. We've seen repeatedly that doesn't work. Nobody cares about their bipartisan baseball game crap. People want to stop getting beaten. People want to stop losing. And the Biden and Manchin plan of losing more slowly doesn't really seem to be getting us to where they are. So one of the things that I've tried to explain to people, right now, this country exists as it does only because Democrats allow it to continue to pretend to be normal. It's Democrats doing all of the heavy lifting, carrying all the water to keep us in this normal solution. God forbid this country should ever see a point where the Democrats or a majority of Democrats are like, no, screw it. We also care about winning. We also care about power. We also are going to do what it takes to win, because then we could not see them raise the debt ceiling, for instance.
Bars.